Hey everyone, welcome to Baka-Talk. I am Ramen Cat, and these are these people. I don't know who these people are. This is a terrible intro, but we're going to stick with it because I'm not going back.
I am Pyrolus.
I'm Turbo.
Yep.
Pretty much it, yeah. Hey guys, how's it going?
I'm doing all right, so.
Yeah. I was actually talking to the audience, not you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know they could respond.
Well, they actually.
What if
They-
I was
they
the
can't.
voice of the audience right there? Like, yeah, I'm doing all right.
Is this a weird
Oh.
role play thing where like, how are you? And then there's just silence so that people can be like, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's like Dora the Explorer.
Yeah.
Where's the map?
Except they'll be like, my whole family just died. And we're like, that sounds great. I'm glad
Please
you
note,
had
this is not a
great
visual
week."
podcast.
What Spanish word did you like throughout this whole episode?
Taco. I really like the Spanish word taco.
Burrito.
Chimichanga.
Hi.
Hi.
Why are you so nervous all the
I
time?
don't know, but apparently that's just me tonight.
Apparently, yeah.
So how's everyone been? Like you guys, not the audience.
I've been all right. You know, been doing all right. Comic-Con's coming up.
You ran out of gas.
Yeah, do we want to talk about the journey
What
to
I
collect the
snort
Pyrolas?
in my free time is no one's business.
You were snorting something, that's why you ran out of gas.
What I do in my free time is of no one's
You
concern.
had one job. Get from work to other work.
Yeah.
And you ran out of gas.
So for a bit of context, me, Boom, Weez are all just sitting around Boom's apartment like,
I
yeah,
called Wheeze first. He didn't answer.
Yeah, I didn't answer.
I then called Ramen Cat. He didn't answer.
I can't tell between my phone going off or my hip having like a muscle spasm.
And then I proceeded to call Boom. And it took like 2 minutes. Then he finally picked up and was like, yeah. Then my phone started bugging. I'm like, fuck. No.
Guess
no,
what?
No.
Your phone wasn't bugging. I was just not saying anything.
No, it was bugging for me. Like it kept on flashing on and off.
Oh,
Like, stop it.
It did
Stop it.
you did start out and sounded like one of those movies where you're gonna have some like thing that you're saying before you died because
yeah.
like, oh I'm help
You were like,
I'm on the side of the
you
road.
used my real name, but you're like, Boom, are you there?
I
I'm like,
half
oh,
expect-
frick, he's gonna die.
I half expected it. Beep, beep.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Pyrolas apparently forgot to fuel up the.
I didn't
Pyrolas
forget. I
mobile.
looked at the gas. I was like, 470. It was just 330.
This was running out of gas with malicious intent.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I was
So
like,
we had to go collect him.
hey, I got gas for 50 cents cheaper when I got picked up and saved.
And his poor car is still on the side of the road to this day.
Hey, we'll never move again.
I have a full tank though.
Yep. He siphoned all the gas.
Wait a minute.
What was more fun about the whole thing is just you and Boom and Pyrolas arguing on the side of the road. Meanwhile, there's a guy just off over here mowing his lawn watching him.
That's kind of how we show love to each other. Is we just bicker at each other.
Yeah.
It was like a married couple.
He calls me the B word. I tell him how irresponsible he is. It's just
I tell him I love him after I call him the B word, like I do to everyone I
Yeah.
call the B word.
So is he like just like your like pseudo anime podcast dad?
Sure.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
Yep. Boom is now podcast
I
dad.
don't want to be
Podcast
podcast. Anyways, yeah, I'm taking over hosting responsibilities.
Yeah, that was awkward and uncomfortable. And that was like a job interview where you forgot to wear professional clothes and you wore your Hawaiian shirt and sandals.
Nah, that went more like you forgot to wear pants.
I did forget to wear pants.
And your genitalia turned into a cute girl.
No, that was you.
Ah, where'd it go?
I punted it out the door.
No.
So we had a bunch planned. Not really.
No, we
We
did.
did.
Oh, my.
We were at least going to talk about the halfway point of Roscoe Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, but
Don't look at me.
somebody was late.
I was late for 2 reasons. First and foremost, my coworker.
You
is
were
having a
double
baby.
late.
Yeah, I was double late. Leave me alone.
And then somebody else needed to do other work.
Hey, it only took a second.
Uh-huh.
Wait, you were late?
No, I was here.
He's talking about you doing the recording.
Yeah.
Oh,
The super secret recording.
I was eating chicken.
You're under NDA. You signed the contract.
What?
But
What?
anyways, we didn't end up watching the episode. So that's next week.
Yay.
The
So instead, we're going to talk about
stuff.
Spooky
Yeah.
Halloween.
Random
spooky Halloween stuff.
Halloween's
We went through a list. Pyrolis, I actually wanted to show this. Pyrolis looked up Halloween anime.
Yes.
Now read off the list.
I'm gonna have to look it up again.
Yeah. Oh, and we're also going to probably talk about this manga we found that's hilarious.
So Halloween, if you're interested in for like next year, if you're in the spooky mood, the Halloween list that I get is Junji Ito collection, which is like a horrific tales adapted from a Japanese comic book.
He's a great
Haven't you
horror
seen
author.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your name? Ramen Cat? Yeah.
Yes.
You've seen Genji.
Another one is Another,
Which is another great horror movie.
another great horror
Anime.
movie.
Another.
But I should give the I already give the thing for the Junji Ito. Another is basically Koichi Sakakibara and Mei Misaki investigate strange and gruesome deaths at their school. Then there's Yamashibai, Japanese ghost stories. Not ghost stories.
I've
which
seen ghost
maybe
stories.
better, but
I've seen ghost
Yamashibai, Japanese ghost stories.
Ah.
Strange and spooky stories based on myths and urban legends. The Lost Village. A group of men and women arrive in Nanaki Village only to discover that the inhabitants are missing.
Ghost Town.
Over the Garden Wall. On an adventure, brothers Wirt and Greg, lost in the unknown, a strange forest that drifts in time. As they attempt to find a way out of the unknown, they cross paths with a mysterious old woodsman and a bluebird named Beatrice.
Very spooky.
Ore Emo. My little sister can't be this cute.
This one sounds the scariest of them all.
17-year-old high school student Kyosuke Kosaka is constantly overshadowed by his little sister until he discovers her secret. The Wallflower. 4 high school boys must transform their landlady's niece, a reclusive goth girl, into a beautiful lady or the rent will triple.
Goth and tripling rent are both the most terrifying concepts known to mankind.
Exactly. Rock and Lee no Saisen.
Rock
Full
and Lee's
power
friends.
Ninden. Rock Lee works on his ninja training.
Oh, that sounds like the worst one.
The artwork is just horrifying.
Vampirina. The Huntley family has just moved from their home in Transylvania to a neighborhood in Pennsylvania to open a business. Vampirina, or V, and her family are friendly vampires, and her parents, Oksana and Boris Huntley, have opened a bed and breakfast for their visiting guests, ghouls and goblins. V is a new kid in town and must face the trials, tribulations, and joys of fitting in with her very human classmates. She learns how to look past others' differences to the piece of that makes each individual special with the help of her best friend and next-door neighbor, Poppy, and close friend, Bridget.
The real horror of this, it's set in Pittsburgh.
Vampires.
The worst part is, beyond that, it's from Disney.
Vampires,
Dun, dun,
goblins,
dun.
and ghouls.
That's-
Anyways, that's about it for the list.
No, there's more.
I know there's more, but...
Hotel Transylvania, the series.
Oh, God.
True and the Rainbow Kingdom. Intelligent, fearless heroine, 8-year-old, true and best friend, Bartleby the cat, helps the whimsical citizens of Rainbow Kingdom with their problems. And that's it.
So, yeah, don't trust Google when you look up scary anime.
CBR, on the other hand.
Like, how do you get the Wallflower? That's not even animated, is it?
It is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I thought they were talking about the weird teen drama.
Now, if you want to, CBR gives us Junji Ito collection, Elfin Lied.
I don't trust CBR.
So far, they're less
It's not a
better.
horror show.
Elfen Lied? Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yeah.
I thought it was just like dark sci-fi.
It kind of is.
Horror is kind of like
It was a lot of naked and incest
And
Yeah.
sounds
child
like horror.
stuff.
and limbs flying everywhere.
Yes. Oh, and lots more incest.
I would like to give everyone more, but my phone froze, and before that was just add.
Gotcha.
Oh, it's loading. Oh, Berserk,
Okay.
Hellsing Ultimate,
Nice.
Devilman Crybaby,
Nice.
Another,
Okay.
Devil's Line, which is a vampire romance drama released in 2018. Blood Blockade Battlefront,
Devil's a part-time.
Soul Eater, Rosario Vampire. That's not a Halloween. Okay.
Neither is Blood Blockade. It kind of is.
Tokyo Ghoul. I can see that.
Yeah.
When They Cry. Ooh, that's a good one.
That one's good. Where's
In-
Corpse Party?
Interviews with Monster Girls. It's number 3.
That one I actually hear is actually a really good show.
Yeah, I've read the hentai. Monoke, which is based on a psychological horror anime, and the story follows Kususiri Apothecary, known as the Medicine Seller. While not entirely human, Medicine Seller takes an elf-like look. Traveling across Japan, he kills spirits known as Monoke. Along his journey, he meets a pregnant woman staying in an inn. Her room is filled with a Monoke, and Medicine Seller investigates the spirits to see where they come from.
Kind of sounds like a mushi.
And number one is
Kinda.
Parasite, which I've seen Parasite, and that's not as. I don't think it should be number one for.
That's
Halloween.
not horror.
I feel like
That's
Oh.
It's like
more,
some of
yeah.
the old,
Isn't
like-
that more like a political thriller?
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it is.
Yeah, I really
So-
want to watch it. I've heard it's good.
It is good,
There's like,
but I wouldn't say that would be number one for Halloween.
Yeah.
It's like the old classics, like Boogie Pop Phantom and all that stuff. As weird as the name sounds, it was actually a horror anime.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a psychological
This is
horror.
a horror anime I want to see.
I don't know where that's from. That's from an anime
Huh?
because I saw Reddit memeing that a
They're
lot.
horrifying.
Two pumpkin girls.
Well, hopefully everyone had a good Halloween. No one lit themselves on fire with kerosene-filled pumpkins.
Hopefully,
That
no
was
one-
an option,
Yes.
That was an option. That's always an option.
dude. I know what I'm handing out for Halloween next year.
Hey, what you could
Kerosene,
do?
and we'll hand out the pumpkins, and only to kids dressed as Green Goblin.
Yes.
What you could do is take a mysterious liquid that I cannot disclose because I might get arrested. Mix it with styrofoam.
Are you
and
talking about nitroglycerin?
forms of it?
We're talking about arming
But
the children.
Mystery liquid, mixing with styrofoam, putting in the jack-o'-lantern, setting them on fire, then proceeding to throw them at individuals. Because this mysterious liquid and styrofoam make it very sticky and hard to get off.
Napalm. Let's not.
He's thinking about it because his neighbors got the loudspeakers. And I was like, boom, boom, by.
Thought he was gonna drive by.
Boom, boom. See, this is why we need the pumpkin launcher and the mysterious liquid with styrofoam.
Yeah. So
You guys do anything fun for Halloween?
no, no, nothing.
I went trick or treating with my nieces.
Nice. What do you get?
What I get?
Yeah.
2 Kit Kat bars and a few nerds.
Like an actual Kit Kat or one of them tiny?
just one of those
Kit Kats.
tiny ones.
Yeah, that's
that-
not
Okay,
real.
was it the tiny single bar or was it like a dual bar?
the dual bar one.
Okay, those are halfway decent. I like those.
But
This is what I hate about the new Halloween. Everyone's being cheap and buying those tiny little. If I were to participate in Halloween, I'd be passing out the king size candy bars.
surprisingly, no one was being too cheap because both my nieces were like getting handfuls of candy put in their buckets.
See, that's at least nice when you're handing out the small candy as handfuls.
Yeah.
I hate it. I've
The thing
seen
they
so many
take
times
one.
where the kid opens up the bag and the person just drops like 2 pieces in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like,
If I ever
the
get,
lady, the kid just walked a mile.
if I
give
ever
'em a
get
candy.
trick-or-treaters, I'm gonna dump change and I'm gonna dump candy in their thing.
Here you go,
Make it
child.
where
This
I'm-
is my other child's college fund sheet.
But
When
no,
we're rich, you go take $100 and a big candy bar.
it was fun because my girlfriend and I both like dressed up as well. So
It's cool.
we tested out our Comic-Con cosplays and got quite a few. We got more comments than my nieces did on this.
What were your nieces dressed up as?
My oldest niece was dressed up as Batgirl. My youngest as a Bumblebee,
That's cute. That's awesome.
and then I was dressed.
Was it like the actual Bumblebee costumes that you can get at the store?
Yes, she looked
Okay.
like a bee.
My sister was dressed up like that once.
Oh, I thought of the Transformer.
No,
Oh.
no, it's funny though because the fact I've got her kind of mixed up with some other kids because there was a dad dressed as a beekeeper and all his kids were bumblebees. I'm like, shoot, I lost my niece.
Which bee is my bee?
Hello, sir. Can I look through your hive, please?
You appear to be keeping one of mine.
This bee is not tagged for your bee box.
That's actually a cool idea. So they have like 3 or 4 kids or something.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
When you
I
have-
like when people
When
do
you have
that.
10 children, all right, get in the hive.
swarm my army, swarm.
Maybe-
My honey.
Do you see the one costume on Reddit where a dad dressed up as like a Gundam or something, and like he crouched down and the kid got in?
No,
like,
what
the
it was.
suit, pulled it down. And he's like, zzz.
It was the mechs from Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Oh, that's
So you
sweet.
did see that.
Like he had it where he could see above her,
Yeah.
but he kind of wore it like those football like armor where it kind of dropped down. So she was
Yeah.
like sitting on his chest, kind of like one of those baby carriers.
Yeah.
But he had it supported and braced where he could actually like hold her up and just like walk around and stuff.
With his
That would
arms,
be
you're
the
like,
kind of stuff I'll do if I'm a dad.
That's stuff I'm gonna do.
That's like the Mandalorian guy that had his kid that was
Yeah.
like just his Yoda. And he's just
Um,
walking around.
Another cool one I seen is on a Reddit as well. There was a family and they dressed up their 3 kids as Transformers.
Mhm.
So like the girl was RC. The 2 boys were like, I think one was Bumblebee and Optimus Prime and stuff. But what happened is they looked like they were transformed when they were like walking around,
Mhm.
but then they could like get on their like basically get down on the ground and like fold it up and it actually looked like they transformed into cars.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it was like fully transformable.
Like the
Nice.
one guy that like went to Comic-Con, one of those things, just transformed and rolled away.
That was cool.
All right, Weez, how was your Halloween?
Yeah.
I don't remember it. I feel like I didn't do anything.
All I did was work on my cosplay for Comic Con and then just watch Westworld. So
I
I,
feel
wa-
like I watched football, I think.
I watched Poltergeist and In the Tall Grass.
Poltergeist, like the original one,
Yeah.
was it good?
Yeah, actually it was. I forgot how actually fast paced that movie is.
That movie zooms once it
It-
gets into it.
It basically, it's like, it starts out, here's this suburban family.
Yeah.
And ghost insanity ensues.
You know what it was originally like? You know the story of what it was based off of, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you don't know about that one?
No.
Okay, that's a whole like true crime podcast type story, but you should look
Look
it up.
behind you, too,
Oh.
coming back.
Don't give them false promises of torture.
It was the basis of this family bought a old mansion house, but it turns out it was originally a morgue,
Oh, okay.
and their kids started thinking it was haunted by I might be mixing this up with something else. Anyways, it's a whole thing.
Okay. Well, all I can say is for the 80s, Steven Spielberg did a top-notch job with
Oh yeah.
it. Was
Steven Spielberg does top-notch job with any.
I know, but
Thank
with
you,
the
films.
80s, it's kind of iffy. I mean, yeah, the effects are dated, but you can tell for the time it was like really top of the line effects and stuff. And
You
Yeah.
do realize that, like, originally with Jurassic Park, it was supposed to be like claymation and
Animatronics.
animatronics, and instead they invented CGI. And he's like, I'm gonna use this and make it the best thing anyone's ever seen. And they did it.
yeah, and when they told the claymation guy that, oh, you're out of a job, he said, "Don't you mean I'm extinct?"
Yeah, that was great. And then he goes and makes Mad God. You know,
Spielberg is great. So is Phil Tippett.
Phil
Phil
Tippett's.
Tippett is great, but
He's got some inner demons. You can tell.
Actually,
everyone in
I
that
was
industry
watching
does.
a documentary about like the production of that.
Yeah.
He had no idea what was going on with Matt Guys. Like, yeah, I had a vague idea, and then we got to that point, and we just
Well,
winged
most of it was actually like produced in a school.
Yeah.
By like other animators. And that was kind of cool that he like let this whole project of his that was going on for almost 30 years. Like he just let people like work on it and like get their skills from it.
Well, and all the stuff that he animated, he just left, and
Oh,
that's why
yeah.
there's so many different like art styles to it.
Yeah.
There's stop motion, but then there's some live action. And
Yep.
there's like weird silk screen
Yeah.
overlap effect. And then there's parts that look like they're claymated, but they're actually real life.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
were just
really?
like they slowed the frames down so they looked like stop motion.
Interesting.
Like there's a scene of the doctor and a nurse, like when they're like cutting someone open.
Oh, I knew that was live action.
No, there's like certain parts where it starts to look like it's stop motion.
Yeah.
And it's still all live.
Yeah, I figured that was all live action.
I did not realize the weird like wispy plague doctor was actually all stop motion.
Yeah, that was all stop motion. I watched them animate where he's going down the stairs
Yeah.
and like just the amount of movements they had to
Yeah,
do
the
to get.
cloth and everything.
Yeah, that was
flapping.
insane.
It's not a movie for everybody.
No.
It's not a movie for the faint of heart. It's not a movie for somebody that does not want to actually. It's not a movie for somebody that wants a story. It's not a movie for somebody that wants to understand what's going on.
It's an art piece, I guess.
It is definitely 1000% an art piece. All right.
Is this the part for ad time?
So-
No.
Oh.
I don't think I ever talked about this, but I watched all of the Rings of Power. The little Amazon show that came out. That they
Little.
hyped.
It cost millions of dollars.
It's the most expensive show ever made. and it looks like it too. It looks really good.
Game of Thrones would
Mhm.
like to argue that case.
No, it's like for like each episode or whatever. It's like the
Ah.
highest budget ever.
I think the average episode costs like 300 million or something.
Yeah, it was
Ugh.
insane how
Yeah.
much money they put into this.
Anyways, everybody hates it except for you.
Okay, not everybody hates it.
Everybody hates it except for you.
People,
I
people
hate it.
overreact about it that it really sucks, and it doesn't.
Pyros,
I
do
think-
you hate it?
Well, I'll put it this way.
Did you watch it?
I'll put it this way. Imagine being fed by the like Gordon Ramsay, right? For years by the LOTR community, right? And all of a sudden, we get a new chef. And he tries to pass off McDonald's as the same thing.
Yeah, he hates
Did-
it.
did
So
you
everybody
watch
hates
it?
it.
I was gonna watch it, and then I seen a clip where they're
Did you watch
fighting
all
a
of it?
troll.
Not all of it.
How
No.
much did you watch?
First 3 episodes.
Okay, so it's really freaking slow, like to the point.
So is Andor.
to the no, Andor picks up. It takes 3 episodes to get into.
I couldn't get it past episode 2.
Yeah, episode 3 it picks up. Episode 1 and 2 are really slow. After that, it's way faster.
It's the
Which
anime
I could
rule.
also talk about, but
Screw
it's
the anime rule.
all of the
I'm
Rings of
joking.
Power. The thing I like about the Rings of Power is that it's boring. The dialogue is really weird, and it's super slow, just the way Tolkien intended it.
That's what you like about it?
Well, if you ever read Tolkien's books, they are extremely slow, overly detailed, and kind of boring. So I kind of liked it about it.
See,
It felt like
that,
Dude,
that kind of thing works in writing, not in
I know.
visual.
Yeah.
I know it does.
I grew up with Star Wars. If lightsabers weren't on the screen for 5 minutes at a
know.
time, we would riot.
Okay, there are some good things about it,
Like,
like some of the action's kind of cool.
Okay.
Not in the big. I'm not talking about the stupid sword jump.
No,
thing.
no. That I watched. I was gonna watch the show, and then I see a clip where they're fighting a troll, and for whatever stupid reason, there's a sword ramp, and I'm just like, this is dumb.
There's a sword ramp?
There's a sword ramp.
What do you mean a
They're
sword
gonna go
ramp?
fight a troll, and the guy stabs the sword into the ground, and the girl runs up the sword and jumps at the troll. and I'm
How
like,
big's the sword? Is it like the Buster
No,
sword?
it's a long sword.
I mean, they kind of did
What?
the same stuff. Like there was a
it was
Legolas like kicking a shield and like
Yeah,
fighting it down.
yeah,
with
you know what?
staffs.
You know what? No.
There's that
That makes sense.
that kind of
The shield is like a sled.
Okay, if it was in say like the new D&D movie, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. But in a show that's
Have you
supposed-
seen trailers for the new D&D movie?
back when they
I've seen
first
the cool
released.
Bakugan ripoff dice they're making.
Bakugan.
But anyways,
Ripoff
but when it's a
dice?
sensible
Yeah.
high fantasy and there's sword ramps,
The-
I don't like it.
They have
Yeah, I
dice
don't-
that we turn
it's
into
just the
monsters.
thing that they do with the elves because they're like,
That's kinda
oh, the
cool.
elves
Yeah.
are all
Look
like,
into it real quick.
you know,
I'm gonna look
super
into it.
Okay, afterwards.
runny
Oh, yeah,
and
after-
flippy and
breakdown.
whatever because they're elves. I don't know. There's some good parts of it. I like the stuff with Elrond. Elrond's like struggle with the dwarves is kind of cool. I mean, it's still really slow. Like the conversations go back and forth and like the politics are going back and forth and it's really slow. But I don't know. It's fine. It's just not great. It's just like it has the highest budget ever. So people are expecting a story that's like a super amazing story and it's
Right.
just fine.
Well, here's the thing. I can't blame you for liking it,
It's nothing.
and I can't like discourage you from liking Lord of the Rings and Tolkien
Yeah.
and stuff. That's fine. I just don't like the show.
It's how much have you seen of it?
None of it.
Well, then you have no opinion.
I've seen.
I know you wouldn't like it if you watched it because it's
Exactly.
super slow. It's
I
really,
just-
really slow.
I couldn't get past Andor, and Andor was super slow.
Okay, you need to watch the 3rd episode.
Everybody says that. I
Okay,
don't want
watch
to.
Also-
the 3rd episode. If you don't like the 3rd episode, drop the show.
From my understanding, they did a lot of stuff that kind of like, what's the word? Not hypocritical, but like it fell off the lore. Like it basically spat it in the face of the lore.
Oh,
Trying-
which show?
Heretical?
no,
Which show?
the Rings of
Rings
Power.
of Power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Contradicting?
I know,
Yes, it contradicted a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know that much. I know they brought in a lot of lore, and some of the stuff was kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know. You have to think of it kind of in its own universe. I know
That's what you have to do with
it's
everything
also supposed
nowadays,
to
which is
be-
why it's so stupid.
It's also supposed to be a 5-season show. Like,
What?
They already have 5 seasons planned out that they're
Yeah.
making. So I think that's part of it too of why it's so slow is because they're
How?
like, this
Okay.
is the setup.
Is this being made
Amazon.
by Amazon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense why they can do this. I was just like, who's got that money? But then
Jeff
it's
Bezos.
Yeah.
I think the expectations were too high, and it turned out to be like
I didn't know Jeff
Whatever.
Bezos was such a lord.
He's not a fan, otherwise he
Lord
would have
of-
done it properly.
That's true.
Also, I think it's funny. They're like, all these fantasy shows are like R-rated. We wanted to make like a PG-13 rated show because that's kind of like fits in with Tolkien.
I was gonna say
and his
Tolkien
vibe.
would roll in his grave if it had a bunch of nudity.
This show is so freaking violent when it gets to it.
Yeah?
There's like, he breaks the one guy's arm and it's pretty messed up. You see a wolf monster just like gorge a woman's he just rips her stomach out, like right on camera. And I'm like, holy crap, they showed that. That's insane.
That's where all the
Huh,
budget went to. None
it's
of it in the
not-
story, just
it's
all in
a
not
the
gorged
super-
woman's
It's
belly.
Not,
Okay.
It's not really common. Like the violent, it's mostly just like conversations and there's some fights and stuff. But like when it gets there, it's like, dang, this show is pretty.
Sounds like they're trying to compete with Game of Thrones.
I don't think so. It was just kind of a thing that they did.
Then they
It
bring
was
in
fun.
not Gandalf to throw you off. Then turns out not Gandalf is actually Gandalf the whole time.
Like
Yeah.
legitimately Gandalf?
Yeah.
Like just
I'm pretty
Gandalf.
sure
Yeah.
Gandalf. Yeah.
And then
Why?
and that's one of the things that, like, if I remember, that's one of the things that contradicted the story because Gandalf was not supposed to be there in that place in time.
Yeah, I think Gandalf was like sent from a star or something though. I think that is part of the lore.
Gandalf
But-
was sent from a star?
Gandalf was like brought to Middle Earth in a star or something. It's weird. Tolkien lore is all over the place.
This sounds starting to sound like
But-
some Elden Ring crap.
Yeah,
right here.
like
Yeah.
I'm expecting Radon to ride up on his miniature anorexic horse and smash me in the face.
Tolkien lore is ridiculously complicated.
And Amazon's making it worse.
Okay, if they can make Rings of Power, when do we get an Elden Ring movie? Or Elden
That
Ring
would be
TV
cool.
show?
Elden Ring would be cool.
No dialogue, just a lot of sword smacking. Well, a
Yes.
little dialogue.
I would want dialogue. I would want like an actual story, but I'd like epic like boss battle.
What
like
I'm wondering,
you know Clash of the Titans?
Yeah.
I'd like that. That'd be cool.
Stop motion?
No.
Rings of Power isn't like a lot of the Netflix shows or whatever where they're like laughably bad. It's just kind of like, whatever.
we tried, but
It's
we
like-
didn't try.
Yeah, I feel like they tried. I think they put effort into it.
See, watching
I don't think it was
HBO's like original shows, like those are pretty high quality.
I mean, I feel like when you're like, okay, you're going to be writing a new Lord of the Rings shows that has the most passionate and like insane fan base ever that reads all these obscure lore books and stuff. That like half of Tolkien books are written like history books.
yeah,
So if you're into Tolkien, you're not into it because the story's interesting.
right.
You're into it because you want to learn the lore because the lore is interesting. Not
That's
that
why
the s-
Warhammer fans
Yeah,
exist.
not that the story itself is good, because the story is like this dude went and fought this guy and he died, and this is what happened to his brother, and blah 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 blah. Like,
yeah,
it's not a narrative. So, like, it having that much pressure on you, it's got to be really hard to make a show that's like you think can end up being good and still kind of fit into the lore and still be interesting. I feel like it's an impossible task. Like, you can't. I don't think you could really
well, they
make.
keep
a
on
great Lord
taking
of
up
the Rings shows.
impossible tasks.
Yeah, I think that's part
It's
of
like,
the
why
problem.
do they keep on doing Star Wars in the same time period?
Yeah, they do need to move.
We
the
have
periods.
Rebels, we have Andor, we have Rogue One.
Yeah.
Why don't they? Hear me out. Hear me out. Probably wouldn't work, but since they know the formula of Star Wars and what makes it cool, why don't they make an original sci-fi thing that would be like that? Like, just put that much care and love into it.
no
Right.
one knows how to make anything original anymore.
Like,
You-
you have the groundwork for it.
Yeah.
Change the IP.
Well, look at Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 2. I've been playing that. Story's pretty good, but they retconned the original Modern Warfare.
Did they?
Yeah, like it's a new story, but they're using the characters, like characters that died that I cried over as a child. They raised from the dead and said, "Oh no, that never happened.
Oh,
This is
jeez.
what's going to happen instead." And it's like you could have just, I don't know, made a new character
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of just gotten, done it for the cash grab of using the old character.
I'm seeing that now with a lot of games too. Like, as nice as the game looks, like the new Silent Hill 2, it's like, okay, just take the groundwork and just make a Silent Hill-esque
What
game.
happened to PT?
PT?
PT was supposed to be another Silent Hill game.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They quit it, even though it was going to be way scarier than Resident Evil 7.
Yeah. Or just even just be like, yeah, so we made Silent Hill. We're gonna make a new series,
Yeah.
something different.
Well, and then also the problem is you get a really artistic move or game like Scorn,
Yeah,
and then everybody hates it because they don't understand what's going on.
yeah,
And
that's
it's an
true.
original thing. And everybody's just like, I don't understand. It's like, figure it out.
Yeah, because Scorn is very heavy on figure it out.
Yeah.
People don't want to figure it anymore because media has put us into the mindset of we're gonna make it as easy
Well,
as possible.
That's what
See-
made Elden Ring kind of. It was successful, but at the same time, it bombed a little bit
Yeah.
because of the fact of people are like, "Oh, the lore is too complicated." It's like
Yeah.
because you
I
have
heard-
the handiwork of the guy that gave you Game of Thrones and Miyazaki
Right.
together.
I've literally heard in like, I watch one video and then I'll go to another YouTube channel, watch another video. I've heard the contradicting things in both ones. Either one person's just like, there's too much lore. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. It's too deep for like the average person. Then the other person's just like, there's not enough. Where's like the whole like dictionary? I need the dictionary. I want to read books.
I think it's got just right amount because
Yeah.
it's vague enough to let you use your imagination, but
Yeah.
it's detailed enough that it's like Tolkien-esque.
I think the only thing I don't like about it is if you want to do certain like quests in the order that you're supposed to, you have to look up a walkthrough. Like there's
Yeah.
no way to figure it out. Like that's the only
The person that made the walkthrough.
thing. That's the only
But you
thing
know
I-
they did like 3 playthroughs before they did
Yeah.
that walkthrough.
as
Oh,
far
yeah.
as the lore and how it's told and stuff, I think it's like perfect. Like it's more than Dark Souls is. Dark
Yeah.
Souls is super vague, but it's like this guy, you get the basic concept of what your character's goal is,
Yeah.
and from there you can just imagine the rest of
Yeah.
it. And I think that's perfect
It's smart
for like a
lore.
role playing game.
It's very deep.
Yeah, I hope there's a couple games that are coming out that I hope are really successful. One's from Bethesda called Starfield. I mean, everybody knows about Starfield.
No, I don't.
I keep hearing
What's
about it, but I haven't
Starfield?
looked at anything.
You don't know what Starfield is?
I know what it is. I've seen a little bit of it.
I have. I know nothing.
It's looking kind of No Man's Sky-ish.
It is looking No Man's Sky-ish, but here's the thing. I hope it's looking like No Man's Sky just because they're really bad at trailers.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's good and I'm hoping it's decent because I want something original to
Yeah.
work.
Hopefully, we
thing
don't get
I-
another 76.
The thing
don't
I
want
don't
another
like about these
76.
like big space worlds and stuff is they're always so empty. It's just like I land on
Yeah.
this planet, I can explore nothingness.
Well,
for-
that's kind of the
forever.
thing of hoping with Bethesda doing this. Bethesda's been very good about fleshing out their
Yeah.
worlds.
You know
like,
how many worlds they have? 1,000.
for
Starfield.
oh yeah, if it followed the traditional Bethesda formula, it'd fry your computer.
Yeah, so I'm guessing there's gonna be maybe 12. I listened to a video that made sense, and the guy's like, "There's gonna be probably like 12 that are fleshed out, and then probably the rest of them are gonna have like an outpost or two,
Yeah.
and then
See,
the rest of it's just gonna
I
be
feel like
random
What
animals.
would
and
be
crap.
cool?
Yeah.
Pull a page out of Skyrim or Fallout.
Yeah.
Just on a little bit bigger scale. Have your main game, have your like couple planets, your system, and then different planets or different systems would be DLC.
See, that's how a proper sci-fi game should be ran.
Or
where
instead
it's
of
just
DLC,
like there's a
add it.
story on this planet in this area on the planet or something.
Well, not even
Yeah.
that, but like if developers so badly want a live service game, make a freaking MMO like sci-fi RPG, okay? Like Starfield or like
Empyrean.
I don't know what that is.
It's a
but sure.
free to play game. You go start on this planet, you build a spaceship, you join the stars, you fight other people to the death.
Okay, that sounds cool. But anyways, I'm talking like an actual one with stories and stuff like that. But you have like a core like 5 worlds, right?
Mhm.
Now let you get to a certain level, like get to like the main max level in MMO, and then each DLC is a new world,
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
new ecosystem, new government, new storyline.
Why isn't there more games like the original Knights of the Old Republic where there's like you
Right.
go on one planet, you finally like leave that planet, there's a bunch of other planets to explore, you can go in any order you want.
That's why
Like-
I like Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds
Yeah.
is like that, and it's from the developers of Fallout New Vegas.
It's like I'd rather have 3 worlds that are really super in
Yeah.
depth than 50 that all suck.
Exactly.
That's-
Quantity over quality over quantity.
Yeah. It's like they want you to land on the world, step outside and be like, this looks really cool. And then you do nothing because there's nothing left in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all a visual
Yeah. It's like,
experience
it
rather
looks
than
cool.
game experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Break time.
Had time.
Had time. And we're back. He figured he's got to edit it anyway, so might as well just go with the voice.
You frick up. You might as well do it.
Hey, Pyrolas put a different tea
Tea?
in my teacup.
He probably gave you Lady Grey.
He did.
Yes,
I
I
was
did.
wondering why there was a citrusy flavor.
Yeah,
That
Lady
would be
Grey's
awesome.
good.
Ah, tasty.
Get away from my tea.
Lady Grey
So,
with honey and milk.
Before our half an hour break, what were we talking about?
So I watched Andor, and it's not as bad as Boom says. Boom has bad
Oh.
opinions.
I don't want to talk about Andor. I don't like Andor.
You gotta watch the next episode.
I don't
One more
want
episode.
to.
It's fine. It's a good show.
What do
You
you
know,
guys think of
it's-
Chainsaw Man so far?
You know what I don't like about Andor?
What?
Disney.
Okay, here's the one thing. The main thing I don't like about Andor. It's supposed to be dark, gritty Star Wars or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's very depressing. It's all like the
The grittiest thing I've seen so far is two people had sex.
Yeah, it's kind
In
of
a Star Wars
It's
movie?
like-
Yeah.
Yes,
Star
that's what I
Wars.
thought.
Yeah, she just spent the night. Nothing was shown. It's supposed to be darker and grittier or whatever. So like,
Adding sex in a random thing doesn't make it darker and grittier.
I know
No.
it doesn't matter. That
Mandalorian-
character dies in a minute.
Mandalorian did it right in the first season. Stays at lady's house. Get out of my room so I can take my hat off.
Exactly. No, but
That's
like,
dark and gritty.
It's supposed to be dark and gritty. Okay.
No, I hate it when
So-
people like say it's dark, gritty, and edgy. It's like, no, it's just edgy. You had a sex scene.
Yeah, it's supposed to be that. That's like their goal or whatever. So
What,
the thing
sex
I
scenes?
no the
How
dark
many they can fit into
no,
a Disney
the
show?
dark and grittiness. So
Hey, Lord Mickey, how many will you let us add before you behead us?
so it's got that thing where all the characters talk in that like hushed, raspy tone where they're
What do
just
you
like,
mean you don't
Because
like
they're
my Twitter
afraid-
feed?
yeah.
afraid that the Empire's gonna come and
I know. It's like the
The Empire's gonna get
conversation
me over
always
this.
feels so like we've really got to make this job work, or everything's lost.
nobody just.
And it's-
I'm expecting just somebody to stand up and be like, guys, we're in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
we can just talk.
It's got that. That's something that I find whenever you look up a compilation of best acting or whatever on
Yeah.
YouTube, it's always those scenes.
It not
I'm just
what
like-
it's gonna be is just you hear the lightsabers. "Bzzz, I'm Batman.
Yeah. It's basically got that thing. Another thing that does that is some dubs, like the Death Note dub. Everyone talks in like, "Oh, we've got to find out what's
Yeah.
gonna happen." It's like, why
I
is
don't
everyone
like it when
Batman?
people specifically try to be like dark and gritty. for
Yeah,
things.
it's really crazy.
the only person that should do that is actual Batman.
Yeah, like Batman.
He's the
makes
one
sense.
that's good at it. Every
Also,
Batman actor's good at it because
in-
they can do it loud. Everyone else just
Yeah.
goes, I'm
Well,
I
Christian
don't-
Bale kind of sounded like he was gargling marbles sometimes.
I don't know how
Right.
like
Where is Two-Face?
in the Batman, it's like a darker, edgier.
Yeah,
he does it pretty well.
He does it
He
pretty
has
well.
the dark, edgy voice, but nobody else does. It's not
Yeah.
like everyone is like, "Oh, this is awful." It's not like
Well-
Commissioner Gordon was like, "Oh no."
It's
If
mainly
anything,
because
they
he's trying to
contrast it.
cover up his voice.
Yeah,
too.
he's trying to
Yeah.
cover up his voice. There's a reason for it. But in like these so many of these shows where they're just like, "This is important. We have to talk like we're Batman." I don't know.
Batman.
It's weird.
Tell you what, for next week's podcast, I will try to watch episode
Yes.
3. And if I hate it, I get to tell you I told you so.
Yeah, if you hate it, that's fine, and then just drop it because you're not gonna like it after that. But things happen in episode 3. The first 2 episodes, nothing happened. I barely paid attention to them.
See, here's the thing. I watched the first 2 episodes of that, but at the same time, I was reading the Darth Bane trilogy. I'm like, Darth Bane is Star Wars. This is not Star Wars.
I like it because it's not Star Wars and it doesn't feel like Star Wars. I feel like this is kind of what they should do with the TV shows. Just give people weird genres to do in Star Wars, and if it works, it's cool. If it doesn't work, it's like whatever. It's just kind of
That's how we end up with Mickey Mouse.
when you
in
do
Star
that with
Wars.
movies, though. It's like it kind of ruins it because movies are like
Yeah.
the big thing. A TV show you can experiment in, and so many people are like, "This thing is amazing. It's the best Star Wars thing since Rogue One." Blah 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 because it's darker and edgier. And I don't think that's the reason. I think it's because it's better written than like Boba Fett. So people
Yeah.
are like, I like it more. It's like, yeah, it's not because it's dark and edgy or whatever.
I just want passion back in the shows.
Honestly, like the thing that to me ruined Boba Fett and Mandalorian is
Hmm.
the presence of a story rather than just episodic adventures.
I don't know.
It was kind of cool when the Mandalorian was at
Just
first just doing random
Adventure,
Yeah.
adventure
was
to
cool.
adventure. He had his stupid little booger monster.
Boba
and
Fett-
They just did things.
Boba Fett
Yeah.
had problems with Boba Fett. Like his character was just kind of lame.
Boba Fett should not be the good guy.
Yeah, I understood.
He should be, like, morally gray.
I could understand the story if it showed that he changed after he met the Tuskens or whatever. But he
Right.
didn't. He was like right from the beginning. He got freed and was like, "Hey, you wanna get out too?" It's like, why is he so nice to everybody? It's like, what the heck?
Like he
I don't know.
literally wasn't it in episode 6 where he pushed a guy off one of the railings?
Yeah, like he.
Didn't he like murder somebody to try to get at them?
Yeah, he's in the Clone Wars and he's a freaking menace.
He
just,
blew
like,
up a Star Destroyer
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah,
the
he blew
Republic
up the
ships are
Star
called.
Destroyer trying to kill Mace Windu.
Yeah.
And then in this thing, he's just like,
And that was when
I'm
he
gonna
was
help you guys out.
12.
yeah. It's like, I don't know. It was weird.
It would have made sense for him to help the Tusken Raiders because he seems like the kind of character you helped him, so he'd help.
But
you
how
out.
does being
Yeah.
stuck in a Sarlacc pit for like a month turn you into like, I don't know, Mr. Rogers
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah, that I don't get.
Like I can understand them being like he goes through character development. He can become a slightly better person after dealing with the Tuskens or whatever. But I feel like the concept around it is kind of a cool idea. He's like, I'm sick of working for
it
people. I'm just
should
gonna be the
it
boss
should have
now."
been a dark.
But
That should have been the dark.
Yeah, it
Star
should have been.
Wars.
It
It
should
should
have
have been
been
a,
darker.
like a mob story.
Yeah.
Where
That would have been cool if he was like assassinating people and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But instead he's like making friends.
like they could
and-
still have him assassinate like what if he tries to make friends with them and then they just cut him off and so he's like okay and just kills him. You
Yeah.
know, like sets up assassinations.
But
then-
instead he makes friends and gets a Rancor baby.
Yeah.
He's like, what the frick?
But
I
but
like
he
the
got the
Rancor
Rancor baby from none other than Machete.
No, hear me out.
That's true.
Hear me out. He goes to a barbecue to try to make friends, right?
Yeah.
They don't wash and return his dish. So he assassinates everyone at the barbecue for not washing. and
Oh,
returning
don't
his
forget they
dish.
complain that his grass is 2 centimeters over the
Yeah.
neighborhood standard.
I would say that's a ridiculous idea for a movie, but then there's John Wick and Nobody. So.
Yeah, and Violent Night.
Give me the Hello Kitty.
Violent
watch.
Night is coming out soon. I'm excited for that movie.
That's my holiday highlight.
Oh, heck yeah. I want to see Santa Claus murder terrorists.
Santa Claus
Speaking
is
of
coming
edgy
to town.
entertainment, most of us have seen Chainsaw Man.
Yeah,
I've read the
You
manga.
watched Chainsaw Man?
I did all the way
What?
to episode
Yeah, he
4.
said he didn't like it. The
Yeah.
characters.
Okay, it's weird.
Okay, I've only seen episode 1 and 2, but I'm beyond it in the manga. So you
I'm
can spoil it.
conflicted so far in it because I don't like any of the characters. I
Mhm.
don't find any of them likable.
What?
Why not?
I love Denji. Denji.
Denji's okay. I don't hate Denji, but
I
Machina's
feel like-
great.
Mm.
Eh,
Oh, I also
okay,
really
okay.
like
In the beginning,
Part of what I
before she
don't
turns
like-
into a B word.
okay. See, at the very get go with her in there, I get these weird BDSM vibes, and I don't like it.
Oh, it's
That
not
makes sense.
vibes. It's just full on. Like that's just premonitions.
Oh, okay. I don't like that. I don't like Power because she's annoying and gross.
She actually has character development.
Okay, but she's annoying and gross right now. The cat has been the best part of the whole show.
You just said cats.
But I like the show because of the fact of the freaking action scenes are amazing.
Yeah.
So, the premise of Chainsaw Man is everybody's a horrible human being,
Yep.
Yeah.
and that's why devils exist
Yes.
because they're allowed to, because of greed and people being afraid of things because people are horrible people.
I'm not gonna say what I thought the leech demon was either when I first seen it. I didn't think leeches when I seen that thing.
That is some
Same in
like
the manga.
berserk kind of artwork, like monster. Right?
Yeah,
Too
the
many
manga-
things were floppy and stretchy in that scene.
It's okay. I can't wait until they get to the hotel arc
Mhm.
because the hotel arc really shows what this world's about, like what they try to do to Dingy and stuff like that to get out of the hotel. So
See,
it's
okay.
gonna be interesting.
I don't hate Dingy. He's a likable character, but at the same time, like I get his simplistic goals. Like I got the thing, I want nice food
Well-
and not, like
Yeah,
nice things, but then not just like beelines to boobs.
I
see,
He's a teenage boy that is
His-
experiencing things that every teenage boy has, except he has no one to guide him through it.
I like
Yeah.
his character because he's like a complete loser. Like he's
Yeah.
lost everything. So it's like
he never had anything.
what does he want? He wants just basic desires.
Yeah.
Of like women, food. Like,
Pachita or
hasn't-
whatever.
yeah,
it's
and
about.
Pochita. He's got such basic lame desires. I think they hammer it a little bit too much. It's like everyone he talks to, it's like, why are you doing this? It's like, because I want good food. It's like, your desire is lame. It's like, why does everyone care so much?
See, I honestly, I get the good food thing, because if you went your whole life just eating a piece of bread,
Yeah.
that's a tangible and realistic goal. But then it's just like Beeline's to, I want to grope.
Well, that
Kinda
passes real
hilarious.
quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will in the. Did they kill the bat demon yet?
Yeah.
Oh,
They have
It
killed,
should pass soon.
they have killed the bat demon.
so did they get this to the scene with Power and Dingy then?
Almost.
It
That's where it ended.
Stops.
Oh, okay. Wow, they actually like ended it right where the manga ended.
All right,
That
let's
one
go.
chapter. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just used the manga.
I can't
story
remember the
Yeah.
guy, the guy's name, but the one dude that carries the
Sword guy.
sword.
I
Ponytail
don't-
guy.
Yeah, ponytail guy.
Yeah, he's okay. I
Top
feel like he might develop more as a character.
Top Knot's.
I
They-
feel like he's just more
Top-Knot's great.
annoyed at this
They-
point.
They got that scene that's like, this is a pretty chill day, no problems. And then she just like breaks the door handle. And
Yeah.
It's like, let me in.
Yeah,
I'm here
'cause
now."
it's going along, and he's just going about his day. Sees Denji eating breakfast. Like, okay, he's not causing any trouble, and
Yeah.
then just that happens.
Yeah, Top Knot's a great guy.
I feel bad for him.
No, don't do that to me.
No, do what?
Don't. No, stop.
Don't do what?
No, stop.
Music to my ears.
No.
I've heard it's kind of like it's a little bit slow at first, and then it gets like crazy and like
I'm getting to the part where it's getting pretty good.
yeah.
And that's about chapter 21 in the manga.
I know it's a
I'm
show that
totally
has like
caught up.
big twists.
I'm gonna stick through it because, like I said, I like the action scenes, and if I can stick through a show like what was this show with the weird mascot monster dude?
Glyphner.
Yeah, if I can like muster through Glyphner and hate everybody and still enjoy the show, I'm sure I can do it with this show
Yeah.
too.
I
I'm
love
sure you'll
that-
like it sooner or later.
I love that they have different endings for each episode. That's
Different
so
endings are
sick.
great. The opening is even
The
better.
opening is amazing.
You know how many movie references Mappa did?
yeah,
They
it's-
have Pulp Fiction. They have, I think they have Evil Dead in there. They have a
I
ton.
think the thing
It's
I
super
find
cool.
funniest of the opening is just Dingy and Power just dancing.
Yeah,
yeah.
But that's another bit from a movie.
Is it?
Yeah, it's great. I watched a video where somebody's just like, Mappa really likes movies.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest thing with Denji and Power is they're supposed to be like innocent because they have never experienced anything that. ever
Yeah,
happens.
one's
They're supposed to be innocent without morals.
one's
Yeah.
learning to be human, basically, in a sense, or like something. I don't know.
They're both learning to be human.
and
Let's be
the
real.
other one
Yeah.
is just like, hey, I can do things now.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Power in the sense of she doesn't give any fricks about things. She wants what she wants, which is power.
Yeah.
And I don't know. She's kind of a cool character.
Oh, I like the cat. The cat.
I don't think any of the characters are likable, but I like them.
They're not really
Like,
supposed to be
they're not
likable.
meant-
I
to be
like
likable.
almost all
And that's
of
what I
them.
like.
Yeah.
I like that they're not likable. They didn't try to put in things to make them likable.
Right.
I think they're gonna grow on you.
Maybe.
Probably.
They're gonna grow on you.
I don't know. Is there an overarching villain in any of this?
Gun Devil.
Gun Devils.
Then I'll probably like 'em.
The other thing about Chainsaw Man is how stupid it sounds. It sounds like this B movie like plot of just like,
Yeah.
okay, there's this guy, his superpower, he turns into a chainsaw.
Let's put it.
You
this
know,
way.
that was Glyphner. Guy turns into mascot thing, and girl uses him as armor. It sounds really stupid, but it was a really
Yeah.
dark, like
I
turn.
like-
It
yeah.
went from being like, oh, we're gonna make a edgy kind of scuzzy show to, oh no, this is actually gonna be really dark and turn super serious.
Let's put it this way. I don't think it's too big of a spoiler because it's like one little scene in a future chapter. And they'll probably get to it in the anime. But the Gun Devils only hit on Earth like one other time. And it hit in America for like 28 seconds. 500,000 people died. It hit Russia for like 18 seconds. And like 200,000 people died. It hit like several countries for only a couple seconds, and hundreds of thousands of people died each time.
Mhm.
So the Gun Devil is like the ultimate devil to kill. Like anybody that can kill that basically rules Earth at that point, in a way,
Yeah.
because it's like the biggest menace. Because like it's like the ultimate nuke. Like if it ever touches and like lands for more than a minute, it's probably gonna wipe out humanity.
Yeah.
You know how, not to sound like rude or anything, but you know how when you're hearing like child explain to you how elements work,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like a physicist, so you know exactly how they work, but it's adorable hearing them explain it, and you know so much more because of how further you've advanced in a area. I'm getting those vibes right now because there's so much I want to say, but I can't because I don't want to ruin your world yet.
I'm just saying what the manga said.
No, I know. I'm just
And I'm
saying
only
I know
on
what's going to
chapter
happen in the
20,
future,
so-
and I know all of them. Like, yeah.
I wonder if this works on cue. Top knot.
What?
Please don't.
Say it with me, Wheeze.
Top knot.
knot. He's silently dipping his tea now.
Man, I like Chainsaw Man. I like the manga and I like the animation.
Manga's
I'm
amazing.
sure I'll get to like it more as I
Yeah.
go along.
I mean,
Although
if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's
Yeah, that's
fine.
your opinion.
Just trying to give you more context.
But you better like it.
It's your opinion. Your opinion is wrong, but your opinion.
It's totally reasonable to be wrong, but
Yeah.
You know, it's
It's
your
your
right to be
thing.
wrong in America.
so quickly deflecting us over to Evangelion.
what about it?
Nothing. I'm
Nothing's
joking.
come out. Nothing will come out. We're done.
Yes.
We have Chainsaw Man now instead.
I mean,
It's the
until
new
Otto
Evangelion.
gets like a stick up his butt again, like, wonder how I can end it this time.
How can
You
it
know,
make people
I-
hate
I
anime?
was
Fans
watching
are
it-
happy, unacceptable.
I was watching a thing on YouTube. Someone was doing a synopsis of all of it and kind of an analysis of the rebuilds and stuff. And they're like, what was wrong with the show ending?
Nothing. People are mad about it. And then Anno's
I
like,
mean-
well, I'll give you
Well,
a bad ending.
Apparently, Anno also had been working on another project and actually
Yeah.
got pretty far into it. And then he was like, oh, my project looks like an Ava. So I'm going to just make Evangelion instead of just sticking through with this project. And it's like, no.
Yeah, Evangelion is not as much of a show as it's more like a cry for help / like therapy.
Yeah.
So every one of Stephen King's books.
Yeah, just more child sexualization than actually no. Stephen
no,
King's
no,
got
no,
plenty
it's
of
less.
that.
It's less.
No.
It's less.
Yeah.
Although after watching In the Tall Grass, I'm pretty sure the man was just terrified of mowing the lawn.
Probably.
Even
I've never watched that movie.
It's
so.
It's bad, don't do it.
It's a
Okay,
weird movie. It's
fair enough.
kind of crap.
Didn't they do a remake of that like recently, or did they just make it?
They just
I think they just
They
made
just
it in
made it.
like 2018. yeah.
It's okay. I'm a little confused on the premise though, because it's literally people get lost in the super tall grass. At the center of the grass, because it's like a maze, is this
It's like this
God
giant
rock
rock. Yeah,
thing?
it's a god rock thing.
Oh, I watched Film Comics Explain.
yeah,
of
and it's
this.
like I don't know if it's supposed to be like a horror movie, like they're in hell or purgatory, or if it's supposed to be like string theory horror.
It's supposed to be like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like these astral beings of grass
Interesting.
like come out of this rock and like, we're going to put the grass seed into your pregnant wife so she gives birth to a grass child. It's like,
I don't
no,
know
want
if
that.
it was even that, or if it was just the dude like messing with the lady.
Can we go back for a second? Well, no, what? No,
No.
I don't want to go back.
I don't.
Let's
think
go. Let's go somewhere else.
I don't think there's any more.
Okay, let's put it this way. Spoiler of the whole
No,
movie is
no.
people get possessed by and they touch this rock,
Yeah.
and then this guy kills this other guy and he's like, yeah, I've done this multiple times because you took the wrong path. And you just see like multiple corpses of the same guy, and at the end, the main character gets possessed by a thing. He's like, I know the paths. Yeets a kid into a church, and the kid pops out on the other side of the field. And an alternate timeline.
Yeah,
Wait, this is like an alternate timeline, time
it's
travel.
stupid. It's just
horror
stupid.
movie?
I
But
wouldn't suggest it.
I'm
It-
not.
It's
It's weird.
I'd rather watch Andor than this, but
when
You know,
it
it's-
comes to Stephen King,
After watching Poltergeist and then turning around watching this, I was bored.
yeah.
1 out of 10 movies from Stephen King's works are okay.
Did anybody watch the new Dark? I say new, probably like 2018. But anybody watch the Dark Tower movie?
Yes, and I screamed at the screen because I love the graphic novels.
Oh no!
And I'm like, it's not like the novel.
Oh no!
I
Is
don't-
it at least a good action movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they weren't doing the Dark Tower so much as I think they were kind of slowly following the Gunman Chronicles a little bit.
Oh, gotcha.
I just
I
want to
don't-
see a live action Gundam.
That would be amazing. Like Pacific Rim.
Written by
Yeah.
Stephen
Yes.
King.
No.
We need an actual good Pacific Rim.
I mean, Guillermo del
Besides
Toro
for the
just
first one.
made Pacific Rim because he was like, yeah, I've always loved giant robots since I was a little
Well, yeah,
kid.
but then they
I
made a
have
second.
money.
They made the second one, which was horrible because
That's 'cause-
back in the time when it's like we need children to run it. Whenever we do a sequel, even though the first one only came out like 4 years that before it,
That's because I don't think Guillermo del Toro directed that
they
one.
did not. It's a cash grab.
Yeah.
I want a proper second one, or would be a third one at this point with Del Toro back.
I want okay, I'm not a big mech fan, but if we did one, I'd want us to be something like Armored Core in the sense of it's like a war movie.
Well, that's why he wants Gundam.
Yeah, I want to start out where like it's people fighting people, then they like accidentally like
G Gundam.
they yeah, kind of like that, but then they accidentally like crack open like an alien egg. Now they got to use Gundams to work together and fight the aliens.
There's
Very cool.
aliens in Gundam?
Yeah,
Yeah.
When?
there's a bunch of variations of Gundam.
I just remember Gundam when it's like space terrorist overlords. Like,
That's classic Gundam.
I'm going
Yeah.
to take over Earth. And then the main character's like, you're not going to take over Earth.
Gundams
Pew,
fight
pew.
kaiju's all the time. That's great.
I never see a kaiju in Gundam, and I probably would have liked it a lot more as a kid if there was a kaiju
Great.
in it.
I mean, speaking of kaiju number 8's coming out as an anime adaptation.
Different kind of
It's-
kaiju.
Not many books, though.
I do want to read that.
There's 7 out in Japan, I learned.
Oh, okay.
Or they're coming out with the
So is that enough for a season?
Oh, yeah.
It's a light novel, yeah.
Okay. That'd be cool. I'll watch that, definitely. Never read the manga, but
You
giant
should.
monsters.
I have the first 4.
I do want to read it because like it's about a guy that turns into a kaiju. Like,
Yeah.
that's freaking cool.
And one of the first things that happened, he's like, crap, I have to go pee.
Takes monster girls to a whole new level.
Yeah. There's actually a funny scene. He's like, oh, crap, I gotta go pee. And it turns out kaiju just pee from their nipples.
What?
It's funny.
Why
It's
does everything?
It's a whole scene.
Why does everything get so weird with manga?
It's just
It's one comedy scene. It's not a thing in the
I don't know.
show.
It's kind of like that
He
thing
gets
we just
nervous.
fumbled
Major
across
plot
tonight.
points. How he's going to defeat the last enemy.
He just gets nervous and he just turned into kaiju and he's like, crap, I gotta go pee. And it's like kaiju body just does the thing.
It's going to be like Rebels. Remember space whales?
I don't want to
They're
remember
the-
space whales.
They're the main way you defeat the enemy.
It's not the main way to defeat the enemy.
They did.
Thrawn should not have got killed by space
That's
whales.
the only way they could beat him, by some random bullcrap.
Make more sense for
Just
Ezra just to
chaos
go up
of
and
the
decapitate
universe.
him.
Nah, that's
Chaos of the universe got him.
Yep, pretty much.
So do we all realize that there's the new Jedi Order game?
Yeah.
And then there's like a clone or something like that
there's
in the trailer.
Oh, I haven't.
Hmm.
There's a clone vet in the trailer. My
Oh,
theory is
yeah.
that's just Ezra being cloned.
That'd be sweet.
an infinite amount of times.
It's just him chilling.
Yeah.
He just got
If you-
injured from hyperspace thing, and now he's just in this vat
Oh, that'd be
for a
funny.
If you
bathtub.
clone a Jedi, do they have their midichlorians?
Yes.
According to
Chat-
some things, they do.
Yeah, yes. If we go by, there's a old Battlefront game
I
called
played.
Shadow
That,
Squadron.
that game had the
Um,
worst story ever.
No, Elite Squadron is about 2 Jedi clones. One went to the dark side and one went to the light side. Yes, they keep their force powers. If not, they're a little bit stronger. And then there's other ones like Darth Plagueis, where he literally the only way he could pass on clone sensitivity was by impregnating a woman.
There's also Star Killer from Force Unleashed. Who was
Yeah, there's
cloned.
Star Killer as well.
How much does it cost to clone a person, and does it change depending
I
on
feel
whether
like
the person
Star
The
is
Wars
a Jedi or
Caminos
not?
charge, I think it's somewhere around 10,000 credits.
Is it like the same price per every thing, or
Well,
do, like,
it's a contract. They set a same.
but is there like variations depending on like what we're cloning?
Oh yeah,
Because if
it's the quality of the stock.
because we could just like clone a bunch of Jedi, indoctrinate them as children, like what they did with the clones, and have an unstoppable army.
See, that was actually a possibility, but they wanted something they could control and clone. Force sensitive clones would be able to break, like, the control chips.
I feel
too
like they
easily.
did
Would they?
clones too much.
Like
they
Star Killer.
clones too much?
Yeah, they just cloned everything. They're like, oh, clones are a thing now? We have a clone of Luke. We have a clone of Darth Vader or something.
They didn't
we
clone Darth
we have
Vader.
we have this
Imagine
guy
they
who's
did
a
clone Darth Vader.
We have clone
What?
troopers that are clones of a Jedi. that
What?
Force
What if the
power.
real Darth Vader is still alive, like the real Anakin's still alive? They just cloned
I
him?
know. They're like, we're gonna clone the Emperor.
Don't give
Fucking
Disney
God.
ideas, guys.
And Darth Vader is
Why? They
just
already
the clone of
cloned the
Anakin.
Emperor.
They did already clone the Emperor.
Darth Vader is just a clone of Anakin,
To be
and
fair,
the real
though,
Anakin
that
is
was
still
an
out
old
there.
canon thing.
I know it
Or-
was an old canon. That was the sucky part of old canon.
There's highlights and defects.
I know. It's like there's good and bad. Don't.
That's
take
what my
the
mom
bad
said
and
when I was
leave-
born.
See, this is Disney's problem. They're like, oh, we'll bring back Clone Emperor. It's like that was the worst part of the thing.
He wasn't really a clone. Well, he was a clone, but he wasn't a clone.
I know, but don't bring the Emperor back at all. That's
Right. Just don't.
They could have just been like, hey, here's this super vague, super ancient villain that just somehow came back from the dead.
Or, just draw a little bit from Expanded Universe and use the ancient Sith, which were already lost in the unknown region.
yeah.
Star Wars.
Or just like waiting for an opportunity.
You could make the whole first episode being like them like hearing like rumors about the thing happening, this like evil emperor.
Or just use
something.
the Yuzan Vong.
Yeah, and then they like show up in
Something?
the end of the whole war breaks out in the end of the first like movie, and then it
Could you imagine
That'd
it?
be sick.
It wouldn't make a ton of sense, but it'd be a cool spectacle. They're like all on Coruscant after like a big like I don't know, maybe they're like subverting like a political like maybe a minor Imperial remnant.
Yeah,
They just get done but then they've been hearing rumors about like this unknown force in the unknown region.
yeah.
They're on Coruscant. They're doing a whole celebration thing, and then just up in the sky, thousands of like Sith ships just like
Yeah, that would be awesome.
yeah.
Guys, hear me out, okay? Star Wars, The Emperor's New Groove.
Shut up.
That was basically the last Star Wars movie.
Okay, so the Emperor Palpatine comes back as a clone and starts dancing his way through
No,
Coruscant.
no. A
Have you
clone of
not
Cusco
seen-
steps out.
Have you not seen Emperor's New Groove?
I have a
Oh,
long
okay.
time ago. I don't remember much.
Wrong lever.
I remember it being fine.
What about Kronk's New Groove?
I don't know. Is that the like crappy straight to DVR knockoff or straight to VHS?
DVR knockoff.
VHS. Whatever.
Right. Someone was a privileged kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a few years.
The show was amazing. Back when
We had
Disney
to
shows were actually
steal
good.
our pirated media
VHS recording.
VHS.
from random people we
VHS
didn't know.
sucks.
I remember so many times there'd be a marathon on TV. My parents were like, we want this series. Ramen Cat, you're up. You have nothing to do.
Yeah. Sit there and
8
record
hours of something like, I don't know, like a show like Charm. Like click, click, click.
Can I end my life now, please?
That is the cause of all of your current
Like,
trauma.
okay, I liked the show, but I didn't need to be the guy that's like, hey, do you know the lore about this character
Yeah.
and their relationship with this character? No, I didn't need to know that. I just was like, witch kills demon. Cool. End of show.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad we have streaming now. And yeah, I hate streaming at the same time.
I know. I think it's funny because everyone's like streaming's so much better than live TV, and it's kind of not. It's just becoming live TV again. So
Yeah, because they're like, we're
They're
gonna
adding
put
commercials now again.
on it.
yeah.
Okay, anyways, yeah. So thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Wheeze, where can they find you?
You can find me at KBW Author on Twitter, and from there, there's a link to my YouTube channel, KBW, which is on YouTube, and there's a video where all of you guys voiced in it, except for Ramen Cat.
Because he's a loser.
Yes.
Hey, Ramen Cat, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at RamenCat13 or also on Twitter as well at Eldritch Quill Arts,
Where you do art commissions.
where I do art commissions. But I haven't done anything art lately because I've been busy working.
Fair enough. Pyrolus, where can they find you?
Pyrolus too. Next week I might actually video record me finishing my AK-74
Oh, cool.
and then edit that. And
That'll be on Pyrolus Plays.
that might be. I don't know if I should put that on my gaming channel. Or
You don't want to start a new channel just
Why
for
not?
one.
Pyrolus builds.
Pyrolus Workshop.
Yeah.
If you start a new one, we'll advertise it on the podcast.
All right. But I think I should probably keep my guns and my gaming separate.
Fair enough. Anyway, so either Pyrolus Plays for your Minecraft stuff,
Yeah.
or Pyrolus2 on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay, and they can find me, Sir Boom, at Talk Baka,
I'm getting so
which
canceled
is
on Twitter once I
the
do my
Twitter
stuff.
for the podcast. And I also do stuff on. I'm going to do stuff someday, eventually, on the YouTube,
You'll
which
do it
is
on the-
Baka-Talk Studios. And yeah, besides for that, if you really want to follow me personally, it's just SirBoom9 on Twitter.
We could all play War Thunder together
We could.
and
I've
record that.
been
and put
thinking
that on
about doing a playthrough, but I'd like to try to make it anime-ish related.
Tanks, anime girl.
there. Come on,
Girls
Girls
and
and
Panzers.
Panzers.
Yeah.
Let's go. Come on, let's play tank games together and record it and then
I don't
share
really want
amongst
to
the
play
people.
War Thunder.
Oh,
Hey, we have that Elden Ring co-op thing we can play.
Elden Ring Coup.
there's Fallout 4 multiplayer.
No,
Oh, you don't want to watch the jank?
no. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I have a bunch of scripts done too. I just need to record and make the videos. So.
Nice.
Take a look.
Anyways, hope you enjoyed. See you all later.
Ciao,
Bye.
meow.